Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. Coming up, imagine being able to afford rent and groceries.
Also, Taylor Swift's career just hit new heights.
All that and more on the way next. Stop me if this sounds familiar. Something crazy was just said on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Stop! No.
8772 Radio U. Congressman Anna Paulina Luna. I'll be honest, never heard of this person before.
Never heard of her. I think she's a representative, so there's a lot more of those going around.
Yeah.
A little harder to keep track of them.
Making a name for herself, though.
Apparently.
She, on the Joe Rogan podcast, claims that she has seen evidence of interdimensional beings. That's her words.
Okay.
Interdimensional beings. She says she thinks that they can actually operate through the time spaces that we currently have, and that's not something that I came up with on my own.
Okay, sure.
That's based on stuff that we've seen. That's based on information we've been told as a congresswoman, I guess. You're privy to this information.
Yeah.
And nobody shared it until now.
Yeah, no one's really shared it. I mean, we certainly have talked about like a lot of the stuff that's gotten released into the public. She mentions in the podcast the remote viewing stuff. We've talked about that a couple times here on the show. And so there are projects where the government is trying to figure out, is there, real validity into UFO claims, alien claims, interdimensional beings, all of this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I can tell, especially with the remote viewing stuff that we've talked about, there seems to be no evidence pointing in this direction at all. It all seems to be a joke. That's why it all got shut down.
They're like, we can see the remote viewer 32 or whatever. I can see where the Holy Grail is. And then where's the Holy Grail? Why don't we have it if you saw where it was?
Right. They're like, somewhere in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And they're like, thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
You've really cleared things up for us. And interdimensional, this is the first time I've heard anybody say interdimensional beings, as in can travel through time or dimensions.
Yeah, this is a pretty wild claim from Anna Paulina over here.
Now, to give Joe Rogan a lot of credit, he pressed her on this of like, what evidence have you seen? She goes, yeah, so this is her quote.
Her quote is crazy here.
Yeah, so look, have I seen a portal open? No. Have I seen a spaceship personally? No. Have I seen evidence of this? Yes. Have I seen photo documentation of aircraft that I believe were not made by mankind? Yes. What, did you watch Alien Earth or something?
I was going to say, that's so nondescript. And I get that she probably isn't able to share much detail, but like, why say this stuff if you're not able to back it up?
Yeah, seriously. Like, the stuff that's classified is classified for a reason often. And so if this is too classified for you to share, you have to realize that you just sound either crazy or like you're ginning people up without anything to actually back up any of these claims.
Right.
And so you're either causing mass hysteria or just sounding like a lunatic. And I think to most people, it sounded like a lunatic. It's in her name. Luna. Tick.
Yep.
I think this is, but I feel like, do you think that there's some pressure at this point, especially if you're like a congressman that most people have not heard of, and you go on the Joe Rogan podcast, like you have to say something kind of out there just to get some attention?
Yeah, you want a viral moment.
Like,
honestly,
you're not just going on there to be normal.
Right. Honestly, it does kind of feel like, apparently she's done this before. She was on a podcast, I guess, last year, where she said she absolutely believes the government has advanced technologies not of human origin.
Okay.
So she kind of has a track record of going on these podcasts and making crazy claims with no backing and using the excuse of, oh, it's classified, guys, I can't share anything.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's a very convenient excuse, Miss Anna Paulina Luna.
If it's so important, hello, why don't you just tell us? And yes, you may lose your, who knows what happens to you, but at least now everybody knows. Now the truth is out there.
Yeah, be a whistleblower.
Yeah. Like if you really have any conviction, go ahead and do that.
Yeah, go ahead and share the details.
Otherwise, we all just think you sound like a lunatic.
Crazy.
Yeah. God is not an escape. I think that's important to point out, which may sound like a negative. We've got so many problems going on. And I feel like, to me, what often happens is like our hobbies are like we're always just looking for an escape.
Yeah.
Like you've got a lot going on. I just want to be able to escape from that. I'm going to watch this show. Or I'm going to play Battlefield, or to me, like, we're sports fans. Sports is like an escape. You're watching your game. The game itself may frustrate you, but at least you're not worrying about everything else you got going on.
Right.
You're just worried about that. But the problem with escapes is you can escape for a while, but then when you come back, the problem has not gone anywhere.
Yeah.
It's very rare that stuff goes away on its own. That's just not how it works.
Right.
And so what you need is not an escape. We don't need another escape. We've got plenty of options for that. What we need is a solution, is help. And that's what Jesus is.
Yeah, Jesus offers a solution, a way out of things. He's not just addressing the symptoms of the sad reality we could be facing. He's addressing the root cause of why we're dealing with these symptoms. Because God doesn't want us to wallow in suffering. He doesn't want us to be stuck
Wallowing usually is just bad.
It's just not a good place
Unless
to
you're
be.
like a pig, I think.
Yeah, but it's just like, God doesn't want you to be stuck in a rut, And again, I think we've mentioned this before, like, it doesn't mean that all problems in life go away, that suddenly it's just a rainbow bridge to the end of the world. Like that, no, that's not how it is.
Yeah.
There's still problems in life, but you have the tools to face them. You have the contentment and joy in life, and also just the reassurance that it's going to be okay no matter what comes your way. So yeah, I really like that description of it. It's not an escape from reality. It is a solution. It's a plan to make sure you have the wherewithal to make it through whatever you're going through.
Yeah. And what I think about too is a lot of us, not only like you have your temporary, momentary escapes of like, I just want to not think about my problems for a while.
I want to turn my brain off.
But we also like escape in another way of just like run from stuff. And you think about in movies, if you're the main character can run from the villain or whatever the problem is for a while. But isn't it funny how somehow eventually they always catch up? Like the villain always catches up, and there has to be that confrontation where they have to actually like
address the issue.
Address it. Yeah, you can escape for a while, but eventually it's going to catch up to you, and that is true of so many problems in life. And so the sooner you just have the face up against the villain moment, the better. But wouldn't you rather have that with Jesus on your side, with him helping you, than trying to go through that alone?
Absolutely. That sounds like a much better plan to me than facing it alone.
Well, if you want that, it is as simple as saying today, wherever you are, just saying, hey, God, I want you. I don't want to escape anymore. I want your help. I want to face up against what I've been going through, and I want to face it with you. And he will do that, and he'll do it over and over again as many times as you need. And if you want to know more, you can check out radiou.com/free gift. If you're going to a wedding, and at the reception, you're single, by the way. You're single, you're at the wedding reception, you see at each of the tables, there's a sheet that says single sheet, has a picture and the name of every single person at the wedding. How do you feel? 8772 Radio U. This is basically what happened.
Not everyone at the wedding, but everyone that's single.
Everyone that's single. Yeah, the single sheet. How would you feel about this? This is what happened at a wedding earlier this summer in New Jersey, where a bride put out the single sheet. It said, tonight's most eligible, and then it had the picture and name of all the single people that were there. And at the bottom, it said, flirty, fabulous, and potentially your future plus one.
And it also said, yes, this is a matchmaking attempt. You're welcome.
The you're welcome is where I start to get into
a bit much.
Hold up there.
Yeah.
Hold up there. But what she posted, the bride posted this up on TikTok to show that she thought it was like a fun idea and whatever.
Right.
And I tend to agree, but apparently many on TikTok not as impressed.
Yeah, well, she posted videos of the single people that were on the sheet that made the roster. She was posting their reaction to seeing it. And, you know, they're laughing and having a good time because it's kind of a joke. Apparently, also, people were laughing because the groom's grandparents were both on it. So that was kind of funny. So people were having a great time in the video itself. It was then on TikTok where people got upset.
Yeah.
In the comments, people were like, if I came to this wedding and I was on this sheet, I would take my gift and leave.
Wow.
I would leave the reception.
Good riddance. You sound like you're a bummer.
I was going to say.
Like, this is a wedding reception. We're here to have fun.
Right. Like, what's the big deal? Like, why is this that big of an issue for everyone?
It's supposed to be a secret that you're single?
Right. Like, you're like embarrassed to be
Yeah.
single. I'd be living and partying it up on this list. I'd be like, yep, I'm single. Let's go.
The wedding reception is like the best place to be single.
Right.
Isn't it? Like,
100%.
I think that's why I hate going to wedding receptions now, because I'm married. So, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, it is nice to be at a wedding and like know that you don't have to go through this and don't have to pay for a wedding in the future.
Yeah, that actually is so true.
But it is a good spot to potentially meet somebody.
Right.
So I get the whole idea of like there's a matchmaking potential here.
I was thinking, though, and I think it is kind of like part of the fun, I feel like, especially for brides, that like weddings are a big matchmaking attempt. And it is fun if you've ever like set up your friends with somebody.
Yeah.
Like, it is nice to take a little credit from that. Like, it just
Absolutely.
it feels good. And now I always would have thought, and even though I'm married, I've never planned a wedding. I thought that maybe the single sheet is going a step one over versus just you think somebody would be a good match and you know they're single, you set them up at the same table. Isn't that like traditionally what you would do?
Traditionally, yeah, it would be more of like a singles table that you would set up so that they all have to talk and mingle with one another.
Right.
So I think that is a great way to do it. But if you know that they're there with family, maybe you don't want to separate them from their family, or maybe you don't have assigned seating, so you can't guarantee people will sit next to each other. So this is another great way to try this. You know, just, hey, put it out there. You are single, and these are the people that are available if you want to go talk to them. No one's forced into participating in this. It's just letting people know.
Yeah, I guess I'm sure the people that were like, I would hate if this happened to me and I would take my gift and leave. I'm going to guess they're single women that maybe just don't want to be approached. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, I would be surprised if it was a guy, although I don't know, but I'd be surprised, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I think the top two comments I saw were from women, but I don't think that has...
What do they get? Like, are they really that worried about like one of the gals coming up to them and being like, "Hey, leave me"?
Yeah, no. I doubt guys are worried about that, because even if it's a woman that they're not attracted to, they'll still take that as a compliment that a woman walked up to them and talked to them.
If you're a guy, anybody talking to you at all when you're single it feels nice.
Yeah, it feels like a good thing.
Feels good to have some attention. So I don't really understand the complaints.
No, I think the outrage on TikTok is just like, stop being so dramatic.
There's always going to be somebody that finds a way to complain. On the menu today is the new A&W.
Why are you moving it like that?
I'm just trying to make it fun. You can watch on the RadioU Mornings YouTube channel and Facebook page. It's the new A&W Ice Cream Sundae Soda. I found these at Kroger. They have the ice cream sundae in both 20-ounce bottles and in 12 packs of cans, but they only have the zero version in cans.
Okay.
And by the way, it's easy to tell because one is a can and one is a bottle, but when I was looking at the 12 packs, you could so easily mix up the zero and the full calorie versions.
So not a lot of differentiation.
They don't do you
Yeah.
differentiating. Yeah, they don't do you a lot of favors. So I'm sure there's some parties where people accidentally get the wrong thing and then they just have to live with it.
Oh.
But maybe that's okay. Maybe they're both really good.
We will find out.
Would you like to go full calorie or zero first?
Let's try the regular first.
Okay.
Just so we get the OG original taste.
The sniff test. Really chocolatey. I mean, this smells like when you go to Hershey's World.
Yeah, definitely more chocolatey than like vanilla. Vanilla was what I was thinking we would get more of a sniff of, but you can definitely smell vanilla, but definitely the chocolate is overpowering.
You smell it and it's so chocolatey. It's supposed to be like ice cream sundae. And then you taste it and it's actually not like really sweet.
Yeah, it's not. It's really not. That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, it's almost like, for a soda, it's like not sweet at all.
Yeah.
That's really crazy.
Which I don't hate because I'm not a huge fan of like super duper sweet sodas. Like that's why I don't really drink Mountain Dew. But I I don't know if I like this or not. This has a weird aftertaste for me. I feel like I say that about almost every soda we try.
Sodas do have aftertaste. Like, some people that don't like diet or zero complain about the aftertaste, but full sugar sodas have aftertaste too. You just like it better. Not you, just like people
in general.
Yeah, they all have aftertastes.
Yeah, technically they all do. And I feel like it's just over time you get used to whichever one you try. And you drink all the time. You just get used to the aftertaste. But this one I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
The zero version smells even more. It smells even more like fake chocolate.
Whoa, that's in your face.
Yeah.
Immediately. It's not a good smell though.
It smells like chocolate lip gloss.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a good chocolate smell. It's like a little bit of a maybe chocolate that's gone bad. Like it's a little, I don't know. It's just in your face.
I feel like I actually I guess it's just me now, but I feel like I like the zero version better. I'll give them this. This is unlike any soda I have ever tasted in my life.
I agree with that. I've never tasted anything like that. But I'm not getting ice cream sundae. I'm not getting ice cream. I'm just getting chocolate.
Yeah. I mean, how could you possibly make a soda taste like ice cream?
Well, I think you would add more vanilla, because vanilla pop is already a thing, like vanilla Coke.
Right.
All of that stuff.
And it is root beer, which is typically, especially A&W, very vanilla flavored.
Right.
Well, I guess it's not technically root beer, right? It says ice cream sundae soda.
So
it's artificially flavored.
Oh, no
They
joke.
didn't use real ice cream flavor in this.
Yeah, that not surprising at all. But I guess so they didn't build it from their root beer to start with.
I kind of thought it would be like an ice cream sundae root beer float.
Right. That's what I was thinking it would taste like.
And what I was kind of hoping for, like an ice creamy root beer.
Because I love root beer floats.
Yeah, and I like A&W root beer. And by the way, A&W's Zero root beer is one of the most identical to me. Zero versus the real thing.
Really?
Where I really love the Zero A&W root beer. It's still too expensive for me to buy that.
Yeah.
But this is not that. It's not root beer at all. So don't see the A&W name and think it's root beer.
I definitely did that. I saw the A&W name and thought it was going to be root beer.
It's probably more similar to cream soda, which I do not like. I mean, this is okay. I can drink this, but I kind of really wanted to like it a whole lot because I thought it's a fun idea. And it is unique, but it's just not great. It's
not going to blow your socks off. It's more just like okay, fun little, I guess novelty soda, but nothing crazy good.
If you like drowning your ice cream sundaes in chocolate syrup, this is just way more chocolate than I really asked for.
It's too much chocolate.
Too much chocolate and not enough of everything else.
Yeah.
But they get points for trying though.
Yeah.
If you missed it earlier this week, I don't know how, but Taylor Swift finally appeared on Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce's podcast, New Heights.
Yeah.
Which, when you think that they've had this podcast for as long as I can remember. And
a few years.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have been dating for a long time, and she's never been on the podcast.
I don't think that was a requirement, though. When you date somebody, you got to go on their podcast.
No, it's not a requirement, but it's just how has this not happened?
I think they waited for the right opportunity, and it paid off.
It definitely
Talk about
did.
Taking it to new heights.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, at the same time, anytime Taylor Swift does anything, people are going to pay attention.
Yeah.
But particularly, so the episode came out on Wednesday. Just on YouTube alone, we're talking less than 2 full days here, and it already has over 14 million views.
There was 1 million live viewers because it was a live podcast.
Yeah.
So that is crazy.
And then you add into all of the views of the clips upon posted across Instagram and TikTok and X, Twitter. It's over 400 million.
Whoa.
And this is in 2 days.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable. So it definitely has a shot to be one of the biggest podcast episodes of all time.
Yeah.
So what can we learn from this, Allie?
we need to get Taylor Swift on our show.
Yes, that's number one. That's what I was thinking too.
People would be so mad if we did that. But I do think...
I'd be so happy. I'd be so excited.
I know you would be. She was your top listened to artist last year. But I do think she was... It was really funny to kind of... And also nice as a person that may not be the biggest Taylor Swift fan. I don't really listen to Taylor Swift that much. I did when I was like in middle school. But definitely grew out of that. And... but anyways, I still respect what she does. But it was cool to see kind of like a different side to her that wasn't like putting on a show. It was just her being Taylor. And I think that was really cool, actually. And one of the funniest lines from the podcast for me, which I kept seeing circulating on social media because I only saw clips. I didn't go listen to the whole thing. But she was like, well, you know, I'm on the podcast because I know you have a lot of male sports fans.
Yes.
So we all know what they want more of. Me and their spaces and on their screens. So at least she's self-aware.
Yeah, and she has a sense of humor. And it's true, like, while it's so popular for so many celebrities to do a whole tour of hours and hours of podcasts when they have anything to promote, she doesn't do this.
No.
Taylor Swift doesn't do this, which is why it's a really big deal. She's like 2 hours of Taylor Swift and not like super rehearsed and like all calculated and everything. I'm sure in some ways it is that, but it's her just kind of like being humanized a little bit.
Yep.
And so, like, she's talking about her dad having quintuple bypass surgery this summer and stuff like that. Like, this is making her feel more like a normal
regular person. Yeah.
Especially to people who would consume this podcast or see clips of it and wouldn't listen to her music because they don't like her.
Right.
So I think that's good. Like, even if you don't like her music or you don't want her around football or whatever, like you're tired of that, she's like, it's still people I think are overly mean to her.
Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah, for reasons that don't really make sense. It is interesting. People, like, for some reason, there's now a competition because one of the other most listened to podcasts of all time episodes is Donald Trump on Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah, that was huge.
He and Taylor Swift kind of have some kind of feud. It's like a competition. I think that Taylor Swift, this episode will surpass that. Not based off of the merits of either of them, but because of what we just said. Taylor Swift never does. Like, she's the biggest star in the world. She never does these 2-hour podcast things.
Right.
Donald Trump talks all the time.
He does. He does. But in that format, it was different for him. I don't know if they would surpass that video on YouTube because it has like 60-some million views. So
it's a quarter of the way there.
They've got
in a day.
They've got a while to go. Not in a day, but the hype is always right at the beginning. So I don't know if they can surpass that. But clearly, a lot of people enjoyed this because 400 million over lots of different platforms shows you that everybody's hype about this new album and Taylor showing off a little more of her personality.
And by the way, they all have a long way to go to be the most listened to podcast episode of all time, at least on YouTube.
What was it?
It's Abdurrahman Abu Mala's interview with relationship coach Yasser Hazimi for Secrets to Thriving Relationships.
Probably Indian, right?
Saudi Arabian.
Saudi Arabian.
And it has 144 million views.
That feels fake.
Yeah.
Bot views.
Allie, neither of us are huge Harry Potter fans, right?
Nope.
I've never seen a movie, never read any of the books.
You've never even seen not one of the movies?
No, why would I watch that?
I mean, how do you know if you're a fan or not if you haven't seen it?
I know I'm not a fan because it's like wizards and fairies and dragons.
That's right. You're just not into any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's not for me. Warlocks, witches, it's not for me. But I could possibly see my way to having a Harry Potter food fight on the show.
Okay.
Because Harry Potter is teaming up with Krispy Kreme. 8772 Radio U. They are teaming up for a collaboration. 5 new donuts starting at Krispy Kreme on Monday.
5 new donuts? I only see 4 in the photo.
There's 5 new donuts, and some may be saying, well, there's 4 houses of Harry Potter.
Ah, I see.
Right? Isn't there 4 houses?
There's 4 houses, and then they have the Sorting Hat donut.
Yeah, so that's how they came to number 5. Let's go through. Gryffindor gets its own donut. That's a shell donut, unglazed, filled with cookie butter flavored cream. You've already got me. Cookie butter cream, come on. Dipped in red icing and a Biscoff cookie crumble and topped with golden icing drizzles and the Gryffindor crest.
Nice.
Which I guess we know. Okay, they all have the crest of the house.
Yep.
And it's that little chocolate thing that we know we don't like.
Yeah, the thing that you're not going to eat. You're just going to take it off and put it to the side.
You could save it like a little collector's item, but don't eat it.
Save it, but definitely don't eat it.
There's the Slytherin donut. This is an original glazed donut topped with chocolate and green buttercream flavored swirls, chocolate cookie sugar blend, and the Slytherin crest. Hufflepuff unglazed shell donut, brown butter toffee flavored custard. What is that?
I don't know.
I've never heard that in a donut before. Dipped in golden yellow icing, topped with black chocolate drizzle, cookie crunch in the Hufflepuff crest. Then the Ravenclaw donut, an original glazed donut dipped in blueberry flavored icing, topped with the Ravenclaw sprinkles and a crest. That is way, like compared to the other three so far, that's so much more boring.
Yeah, it's just like, wow, Ravenclaw really got, no effort at all.
Yeah. And then the Sorting Hat donut. What's a sorting hat?
I think that's where you would put your name or something and then find out what house you belong to.
Okay.
I don't remember.
That is a filled donut with a mystery colored cream representing one of the 4 Hogwarts houses, then dipped in chocolate flavored icing, sprinkled with shimmering gold stars and gold sugar on top of the Sorting Hat piece.
Okay. I remember back in the day when Harry Potter was really, really big, the movies were still coming out. All of my friends would do the sorting house quizzes to figure out which house you were in.
Right.
I remember I took it even though I wasn't the biggest Harry Potter fan, but you didn't need to know anything about Harry Potter to take the quiz. It was just answers on your personality or whatever. I got Hufflepuff as my house.
Is that bad?
No. Is
it good?
I think it's a great house to get. But I'd be interested to see if we do this food fight. I think we need you to take the quiz and find out what house is yours.
Wouldn't just eating the Sorting Hat donut be
the answer?
Yeah, that'd be the answer.
But I think that's not as cool as you finding out based off of your personality.
Yeah, okay.
That's just leaving it up to chance.
Plus, if we have the Sorting Hat donut and we cut it in half and each eat half, then we'd be in the same house.
Exactly.
And that might not be accurate.
We don't want that. We're not in the same house.
Yeah.
I guarantee you're not Hufflepuff like me.
It is. Why? What does that even mean?
It means nothing. I don't even know what made me Hufflepuff. This was 10 plus years ago.
What is the bad house to be?
I think Slytherin is the one that's
Are they evil?
Related to Draco and those characters that are more mean.
And Dumbledore?
Dumbledore, I don't know if he was Slytherin or not. I can't remember.
The Wicked Witch?
The Wicked Witch?
Yeah. Which house is she in?
Is there a Wicked Witch in
I don't know.
Harry Potter?
I mean, it's Harry Potter, so I thought.
That sounds like it's Wizard of Oz.
What about... What about Smaug? Which house is he in?
No, that's The Hobbit.
What about Ned Stark? Which house is he in?
Oh, he's in Stark, House Stark.
Oh, okay, got it. See, I know some things. Well, maybe we'll do a Harry Potter food fight with Krispy Kreme. Maybe.
And just make everyone mad like we just did right now.
There's this post going around. Apparently, it cycled through a couple times in the last year or so. But I just saw it for the first time, and it is cracking me up. The post that says, "One day, you'll be buying groceries to cook dinner in the small apartment you rent." And then the follow-up that I love even more, "One day you won't starve in a house you don't and won't ever own."
And it's hard eye
yeah.
emoji.
It's, in other words, just dreaming big of the day that you can barely afford to actually eat food and maybe not live with your parents.
Right. Well, somebody shared that original one you said about the one day you'll be buying groceries to cook dinner in the small apartment you rent, and says, "I love that being able to afford rent and groceries is being romanticized by Gen Z like we've literally reached an economic point of no return."
It is a what's the right word? Stark contrast
Our standards have
quite a
lowered.
juxtaposition to like what people used to dream about. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, if these are our dreams, our standards have lowered so much. We are hitting rock bottom here on the American dream.
We talked about, like, not long ago though, how much money the average person needs to buy the average house.
It's an insane amount of money.
And it is like the kind of thing that I feel like the average person can't even dream about at this point. Like, you just have to accept that your best case scenario is actually just being able to afford your rent and being able to have the food you want.
Isn't it crazy how we've regressed so much? Like, to think of this, it makes me, and I know it's nowhere near as bad as it was at the start of America, but like, think about the start of America when all of these immigrants from like Germany and England were coming in to settle America. And like, the only people that could actually buy land were the rich people. And no one else could really afford it. They became like indentured servants to the rich people. And eventually, you know, America gains its freedom, and they're like, it's the American dream for people to own property and to, you know, have a job and like happiness and all of that stuff. And it's like, now we're getting back to the point where we think it's normal to not be able to own your own home and own your own property.
To pay somebody else for you, like, that's so crazy. This is what's crazy to me, that we're paying just so we can live. You know what I mean?
It's literally indentured servitude. That's why I'm referring to it as like a similar example, because it's like, that's what indentured servitude was. They paid, it was like, you know, the ability to stay in America and to work in America, but you had to pay the person that was, you know, the land you're living on.
Here's the thing I can never square to, because like I see a lot of times on Twitter these like graphics going around about like how bad inflation is versus what it like was in the like 70s, for example.
Yeah.
But then they're like, but you actually, it's actually not that, like the people that say it's not that bad, like you actually,
they try to make it seem
wages have gone up more than inflation. And so you actually should have more money to spend. And I just can't be,
I just don't buy it.
Yeah. And I'm like, should, but don't. And it's not like it's just me, like I'm bad with money. This is everybody. We're sharing these posts about how we're dreaming about being able to rent an apartment.
I was gonna say, to me, the key sign that things have changed is that people's dreams have changed. If you're dreaming that you can just afford groceries and rent, that is a sad dream to have.
And not even not dreaming about having a house. And not dreaming about kids.
Right.
You can't have kids.
Because you can't afford them.
You wouldn't be able to afford them. So,
right.
Yeah, something needs to change.
It does.
But it is fun to dream about being able to afford groceries. Allie, I feel like this could speak to you in a way. Did you know there's a woman from California? Her name is Brooke Johnson. She's been trying to become the first woman to skateboard across America.
Oh, I didn't know about this woman.
Yeah, she's actually supposed to finish up today.
Oh, really?
Today she's supposed to get to Virginia, where she will jump in the Atlantic Ocean to finish off. I don't know. It's the ocean. Maybe walk into the ocean, skateboard into the ocean.
That'd probably ruin your skateboard if you tried to do that. But
she'll take a long skateboard off a short pier into the Atlantic Ocean. Either way, she is supposed to be wrapping it up today. But what caught my eye is that, of course, you skateboard across the country, you're going to encounter a lot of different cultures and go through a lot of different areas. She's from California, but she recently skateboarded through Kentucky, which brought her directly through Amish country. And so she's like interacting with these Amish people that very may well have never seen a skateboard in their lives.
Yeah, it was very different culturally than what they're used to, I'm sure. But the best part, I don't know, you know, I was just recently in Amish country. The Amish are so friendly.
They are, yeah.
They're so friendly, and they're always willing to chat with you and wave at you as you're driving by, running by, whatever. And so, yeah, I feel like you are going to have some wholesome reactions in Amish country. And that's what she did. She's documenting this all on her TikTok. And she posted her at like an Amish store and talking with somebody as they're riding in their buggy. And she's basically going the same speed as them because she's on a skateboard. Right. So it was really cute.
Yeah, it was. It's so nice how friendly everybody was, and just totally different people, but getting to everybody getting along and having fun. And she goes and she tries cow's milk, like straight, that was just milked.
Yeah, straight from the farm, straight from the cow.
That even I'm from the country. I've never done that.
I don't think I have either.
But I bet you it's really good.
She said it was really good.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh my goodness, this is amazing."
I have so much respect for the Amish. Sometimes I kind of wish I was Amish.
I've thought that before, but then I'm also like, I'm so tied. And again, it's because I'm used to it.
Yeah.
But I'm so tied to so much stuff with technology and
know,
especially music. I feel like I would be.
That's a good point.
I'd be missing out on a lot if I was Amish.
Yeah, there's no radios in Amish country.
No.
There's no like phones or anything. Obviously, there's not even like CDs.
I mean, all my favorite bands that I love here on Radio U, I wouldn't be able to know who they are. Wouldn't be able to listen to them.
Exactly. So maybe if you could like do it all over and start like as a baby.
Yeah, start from the beginning.
And you didn't know.
You don't know what you're missing out on.
Yeah, I think we might, most of us, a lot of us would be better off if we kind of did more live an Amish lifestyle.
Maybe a little happier.
But there's no going back.
No.
There's no going back now. What if the next time you're at an airport and you have a long layover, you could have a nap in peace?
Oh, that sounds so nice.
8772 Radio U. This is a possibility if you're ever flying through Miami now, because they are adding the very first sleep pods, private nap areas. They call them wait and rests that I think we have here in the United States. You could pay starting at about $30 an hour for a room where you can just simply take a nap at an airport.
That is a steep cost, in my opinion.
That's more than a hotel.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a lot. Now, obviously, they're expecting you to not stay for very long, maybe just like a few hours. But still, that's going to add up real quick.
Yeah.
If you have like, let's say, an 8-hour layover and you're only using half of that in one of these pods, that's a lot of money. So I have done this before, though, because growing up and flying internationally, this is actually quite common in international airports. So like the London Heathrow Airport has this. And one time, my dad and I, most of the time when we would stop in London, we would have a night in London. So we would go out and like eat at a restaurant and go to a hotel, which was really cool because we got to see London.
Yeah.
But one time we were flying, we didn't have a overnight layover. It was just 9 hours. But that's still 9 hours in an airport.
Yeah.
And so we did get one of those rooms, and that was like over 10 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago at this point. And it was so nice. It had 2 beds. It had a shower and like its own bathroom.
Wow.
So, man, to be able to lay down and to be able to have a shower, that was gold.
Yeah. Why has this not been a thing in the United States before?
I don't know. I guess it's more common with international travel because that's when the layovers are going to be quite long.
Yeah.
And when you're going to be flying for because to fly from America to Zambia, you're talking about 32 straight hours of flying.
Yeah.
Now, you're breaking that up with several flights, but still, that's 32 hours of not being able to get into a shower or get into a bed unless you're planning to spend the night somewhere. And so it's really nice to be able just to get that place. I think we got it for like 6 or 7 hours that we booked it for that time we were in the London Heathrow Airport. And it was just, so amazing.
Yeah. So I don't know what these all come equipped with exactly, besides just that you could sleep in there.
It didn't come with a shower. It says it's just like a bed and then a place where you can charge your devices, which is nice. Again, with that type of fee, I don't imagine you're staying there very long.
No, yeah. $30, and that's the low end because it says it could be $30 to $60 an hour, which, yes, you cannot. It says here, too, like, yes, there is a hotel that's like attached to the airport, but you can't rent hourly there.
No.
So it's not necessarily always practical to get a hotel, even though this is obviously like way upcharging you from what you would get for a hotel room, and a hotel room would be nicer.
Yes.
So this is crazy, but at the same time, like sometimes you're right. Like you just on a long flight, on a long trip, you just need some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
And this is an option. They say that you could do it not just for naps, but just if you don't want to be in like a VIP lounge or something like that. Like this is just literally a private place where you can go and chill out.
I love this because I remember flying alone. I was always worried to fall asleep in the lounge, like in waiting at a gate or something like that, wherever the benches are at an airport, because you're alone. You don't have anybody else watching your bags for you. So, you don't want to take any chances. So to have a private space where you can just go and not worry about like who's near me, who's touching my bags, is someone trying to steal my passport? You don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
What I really want to know, and I think the answer is here because it's not said, does it come with its own private bathroom?
It does not.
Because that is what would be the real key.
Right.
That's you have your own bathroom at an airport when you have a long layover.
Exactly. That's how it was at that London airport one that me and my dad stayed at. And I was like, this is pure heaven. Like, seriously, what a blessing to have that.
This trip just became a whole lot easier. Well, I mean, hey, I guess we have to take what we can get.
Yeah.
The United States, for some reason, all our advances, we barely have sleep pods. Get your popcorn ready. It's our Friday tradition, the weekend watch list, letting you know which new movies are in theaters and at home you could be watching this weekend. Let's start with Nobody 2.
Ah, yes.
Starring Bob Odenkirk, now in theaters. Nobody 2. Workaholic assassin Hutch Mansell takes his family on a much-needed vacation to the small tourist town of Plummerville. However, he soon finds himself in the crosshairs of a corrupt theme park operator, a shady sheriff, and a bloodthirsty crime boss.
Oh, boy.
Nobody 2 has an 83%
All right,
on
solid.
Rotten Tomatoes. Not too bad, not too shabby. And Peter Howell of the Toronto Star says, it's amusing to watch in the same cathartic way as the first film, but you can't help but think there could have been more to the story than just a rapidly rising pile of bashed and bloodied bodies. But that's all we want.
That's the appeal of Nobody, Peter Howell.
I just want to see Bob Odenkirk killing people.
We just want to see him beaten up on some bad guys.
Yeah, so I love the first Nobody.
Same.
I would definitely like to see the second one. I probably won't go to theaters to do it, but
yeah,
as soon as it hits streaming, sign me up.
Yep.
Also new in theaters this weekend, a movie called East of Wall. After the death of her husband, Tabitha, a young tattooed rebellious horse trainer, wrestles with financial insecurity and unresolved grief while providing refuge for a group of wayward teenagers on her broken down ranch in the Badlands.
Okay.
East of Wall is now in theaters. That has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oscar bait.
It might be. It sounds like, without seeing anything, I didn't even watch the trailer, sounds like the movie that like visually you would like to see because of the cinematography of like, if it's the Badlands, it better look good.
It probably will look good if it's Oscar bait.
Harrison Richland of IndieWire says, it captures beauty and turmoil, sometimes in the same frame. They want you to understand the environs of these characters as much as you understand their souls, fractured and beaten, yet still making space for whoever needs it.
Oh, boy. They want you to understand the environs, which means there's very little said. It's all just like subtext.
Yeah.
And so they're just showing you the characters. These movies, I can take some of them, but some of them I can't stand. Where it's like, you didn't write anything. You didn't write anything into the script for them to say. The characters barely talk. It's just shots.
I will say, if it is Oscar bait, I've never heard of any of the people involved, which often means that it's too indie still.
Yeah.
So, but let's do something completely different. At home this weekend, you could be streaming a new movie called Fixed on Netflix, starring Adam Driver and Idris Elba. After learning he's getting neutered, a dog has 24 hours to squeeze in one last balls-to-the-wall adventure with the boys.
Ew, okay, not for me. I think I'm good.
It has a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yes, it is animated. No, it is not for children. Randy Myers of the San Jose Mercury News says, ideal vocal casting makes this into the raunchiest comedy this summer that will zip up the streaming charts as fast as a dog running away from a snip appointment.
Okay. Yeah, that's a no from me, pal.
And finally, also new on Netflix is a movie called Night Always Comes, starring Vanessa Kirby from Fantastic Four. Facing eviction in a city her family can no longer afford, a woman plunges into a desperate and increasingly dangerous all-night search to raise $25,000.
In one night?
In one night.
Good luck.
Yeah. 60% on Rotten Tomatoes for Night Always Comes. Benjamin Lee of The Guardian says Night Always Comes tries to be both seat-edge action thriller and searing social issue drama. And while the director is able to squeeze suspense out of the early frenetic moments, there's not enough emotional weight to the more human final act.
I was going to say, it sounds like it's trying to be too much, according to that review.
Yeah, that is, he gave it a rotten.
All right.
Or a Rotten Tomatoes scored his review as a rotten.
Yeah.
So lots of options, though, to watch this weekend.
I think I will be finally checking out season 2 of Wednesday.
I thought you were going to say Superman.
No, I'm waiting. I'm now just waiting for that to hit HBO Max, which I believe will be in maybe a week. I think they said August 26th or something.
Wow, I know Thunderbolts is coming soon.
Thanks for listening to the RadioU Podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.